Good morning. In this lecture, we will be talking or doing rules of indices. It's a very important topic for mathematics and it is required in all the classes from standard 6th onwards till 10th standard. So let's first understand the basic rules of indices and what does it mean. For example, I have a number 4 which is to be multiplied 3 times, then it can be written as 4 raised to 3, which means that number 4 is multiplied 3 times. Now in this term, the number which is to be multiplied is called the base. And how many times that number has to be multiplied is called as the index or the power. So this is the simple meaning of what is a base and an index. Now let's understand some rules of these indices. Okay, so let's say the first rule. Let us say I have a number 2 which is to be multiplied 3 times, and along with that I have another number, let us say 2, which is again to be multiplied 4 times. Then what do I get as an answer? So rather than expanding each and every number and then seeing how many times, we should know some common rule. So let's see how do we get it. Now this number 2 raised to 3 means that I have to multiply 2 3 times, and 2 raised to 4 means I have to multiply 2 again 4 times. So you can see this is from the first expression and this is from the second expression. So how many times do we get it is total is 7. So we get it as 2 raised to 7. So you see how we can get 7 is by just adding these two powers of 2. That is 2 raised to 3 into 2 raised to 4 will be nothing but 2 raised to 3 plus 4, which is 2 raised to 7. So every time you don't have to expand the number and check out how many numbers or how many times it is coming. Let's just take another example. Let us say 3 into 4 multiplied by 3 raised to 5. So again, using the upper rule, we know this will be 3 raised to 4 plus 5, which is nothing but 3 raised to 9. As you can see, 4 times will come from here and 5 times from here. So 5 times and 4 times makes it 9. So this is the first general rule that we can make out for indexes. For any integer raised to, let us say, m times multiplied by the same integer. Now you should pay attention that here you can see the base is same. You cannot have two different bases. The power can change, the index can be a different number, but the base has to be the same number. So that is why I am using a different variable here. Let us say m is 1 and the n is other, then the general rule becomes that it will become a raised to m plus n. So I hope you have understood the precaution that we have to take here in this case is that the base has to be same. You cannot do this rule for 2 raised to 3 into 3 raised to 5. You cannot say that this will be 2 into 3 raised to 8 or anything. This will be totally wrong, right? Here both the base have to be same, then only you can add the indices. The indices can be different. You can see here it is 3, 4 and 5. Indices can be same also, indices can be different also. You can have it same also, 2 into 2 and again 2 into 2. So you can see this can become 2 plus 2, 4. This is correct. But we cannot have the different bases. Powers can be different, bases has to be same. So this is the first rule of indices. That is, when the bases are same, you can just add the powers to get your final answer. Now this was the rule for multiplication. Let's go to division. Let us say I have 4 raised to 5 divided by 4 raised to 3. Then what do I get as an answer? So first let's understand an explanation for this and then we will see what formula we can derive for it. Now as you can see, 4 raised to 5 can be written as 4 into 4 5 times divided by 4 raised to 3, that is 4 is 3 times. That I write in the denominator, divided by. So let us say if I cancel out, how many 4s I can cancel? You can see there are 3 4s in the denominator, which I cancelled with the 3 4s in the numerator. What remains is only 2 times of 4, which is 4 raised to 2. Now how can we get 2 from 5 and 3? So you can realize 5 minus 3 will give you 2. So here we can get it as 4 raised to 5 minus 3, which is 4 raised to 2. Let's take another example. 6 raised to 6 divided by 6 raised to 2. Now here also you will see that the base has to be the same. Base cannot be different. Because if different bases are there, you cannot cancel the way I have cancelled, right? So let's again understand this. 6 is 6 times. So I'm writing the 6 times. We got it 6 times divided by 6 raised to 2, which is nothing but 6 2 times. So again I cancel the 2 6. What is remaining is 4 times 6, that is 6 raised to 4. So you can see again I can get the formula without doing such a hectic step or a long step. Directly I can get 6 minus 2, 4, which is the answer I got after doing all these steps, right? So from here what we get a formula is a raised to m divided by a raised to n. Again you can see why I am using the same variable a, because the base has to be same. So again a and a. Index can be different, as you can see 5 and 3, 6 and 2. That is why I am using m and n, two different indices. Then the formula that we get is a raised to m minus n, right? Now from this example itself we can get more formulas for indices. So let's say for an example I have 5 raised to 3 divided by 5 raised to 3. Then what should be the answer according to our formula will be 5 raised to 3 minus 3, which is nothing but 5 raised to 0. And what is this 5 raised to 0 equal to then? So let us divide and see. Now 5 raised to 3 means 5 is 3 times divided by again 5 raised to 3. So you can see here all the 5s are getting cancelled. And what I get is 5 raised to, no 5 is remaining, so 5 raised to 0. But you know when we cancel up and down, what is remaining as the remainder is 1. That means this should be equal to 1 because everything had got cancelled and 1 remains. So from here we get a formula that if a base has an index 0, then it will always be equal to 1. So this is the third formula of indices that we get from here. Let's do one more formula and see. Let us say 6 raised to 3 divided by 6 raised to 3 is nothing but 6 into 6 into 6. Again 3 6s down, you can see everything gets cancelled and what remains is nothing but 1. But if I want to write this as indices, how many times 6 is remaining here? Nothing, that is 6 raised to 0. From here therefore we get the formula that 6 raised to 0 is equal to 1. So this is the third formula. Now from this same division formula we can get even one more formula. So let us say I take an example, 2 raised to 3 divided by 2 raised to 5. Now you know the base is same. The formula that we have to use here is again a raised to m minus n, 3 minus 5. So you know the answer I get is 2 here and 5 is the bigger sign. So I get a minus sign here. Now what does this minus sign indicate? What is it equal to? How do we find out? How do we get a formula for this? So let's do an expansion of this and see. What does this mean is 2 is 3 times 2 raised to 3 divided by 2 raised to 5. So I have 2 5 times in the denominator. Now when I cancel these, sorry, I have to add one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can see now in the denominator I have got 2 times 2 remaining, whereas everything in the numerator has got cancelled. So I write 1 here and 2 raised to 2. But both these are equal, right? This is as per the formula, this is as per the expansion. So what do we get from here is 2 raised to minus 2, which I got from the formula, will be equal to 1 upon 2 raised to 2, which I got after expansion. So what does this indicate? 2 raised to minus 2 means what? I have to multiply 2 minus 2 times. You cannot multiply a number negative times, right? So this minus sign just indicates the position of the 2. If this minus sign is there in the numerator, shows that this number is not present in the numerator but present in the denominator, right? 2 raised to minus 2 means is that 2 raised to 2 is present in the denominator and not in the numerator, right? Let's take one more example. 4 raised to 2 divided by 4 raised to 3. Now what do we get is 4 into 4, 2 times in the numerator and 3 times in the denominator. So again I can cancel the two 4's and what remain is only 1 upon 4, or in other words 4 one time. But when I will use the formula for this, a raised to m minus n, 2 minus 3, what I will get is 4 raised to minus 1. But this has to be equal to this, because one is by the formula method, one is by the expansion method. So what we get over here is 4 raised to minus 1 is equal to 1 upon 4 raised to 1. So you can see this minus sign is just an indication of where this 4 is present, in the numerator or in the denominator. So 4 is present in the denominator. So now we have seen, we got one more formula here by using the division formula, that if you have a negative number in the numerator, it means it is actually present in the denominator. So just let me write down how it will be in the formula form. Let us say a raised to minus m, where a is the base, m is the index. This negative sign just indicates that this number is present in the denominator. Right, so just very quickly let us revise the formula what we have done till now. First one was for multiplication, that is when the base is same and we have to multiply, we can add the numerator. This was the first formula. Second formula we learned was for division, that is when the base is same. Again here you can see the formula that we got was a raised to m minus n. And now using this formula only, when we got that a raised to 0, then we know it will be equal to 1. And again we got one more formula, that is if we have a negative indice, it just means that the position of that number is in the denominator and not in the numerator. And this also will be true if you have it like this. If we have a raised to minus m in the denominator, it means that this number position is not the denominator, but it should be actually present in the numerator. So it can be written like this. Right? For example, if I have 1 raised to 2 minus 4, it means that this number is actually 2 raised to 4 upon 1. Right? Similarly here, if this is 2 raised to minus 3, it actually means then it is 1 upon 2 raised to 3. So if it is written like this, it will go in the denominator. If it's written in a denominator, it will go in the numerator. So these are the 4 rules that we have learned till now. Let's go to the next rule, the 5th one, which is, let us say if the bases are different and they have a common index, then what it is. Like for example, 2 upon 3 raised to 2. This means that this index is not only for the numerator, but it is also for the denominator. So this can be written as 2 raised to 2 upon 3 raised to 2. So what it actually means is nothing, that the number which was common, the power which was common, was just removed common outside the bracket. This is what is the next rule, which says that a upon b raised to m will be equal to a raised to m upon b raised to m. Or it is true the other way also, that is if you have a upon m and b upon m, you can see m is same, that is the same number. Here we are talking about the power being same. The base is different but the power is same. Then only you can remove it outside, right? Let us say you have something like 2 raised to 3 and 3 raised to 4. Then you cannot say this is equal to 2 raised to 3. What will you write here? 3 or 4? Such a rule cannot be applicable when the power is different. You can use this rule only when the power is same. So here also if we had 3, you can see 3 and 3, then definitely we can write 3 outside. So this is rule number 5. Now let's go to rule number 6. Now in rule number 6 we have about the negative power instead of positive power. You can see in rule number 5 we did about a positive power. In this rule we are doing about a negative power. Now the rule remains the same. That means the power is for both the numbers, for A also and for B also. And as we had discussed, this negative sign just indicates that the position is wrong. Here you can see A with a negative M shows that this A should not be here, it should be in the denominator. And B with a negative sign in the denominator indicates this is not its correct position, it should be in the numerator. So what happens? B goes up and A comes down. And when it goes up, we should not write the negative sign. This negative sign was just for changing the position. We change the position, we should not write the negative sign. A also, we change the position and we don't write the negative sign. So now you can see again M is common. I can remove the M common outside and I can write it as B upon A. So you see what happened? A upon B has become B upon A. That is what the meaning of the negative sign is, that B should come up and A should come down because they were both in not the correct position. So let's just take an example. Let us say 2 upon 3 raised to minus 3. That means it should be 2 raised to minus 3 upon 3 raised to minus 3. Now I know the position of 2 is wrong. It should go down. Position of 3 is wrong. It should go up. It will become 3 raised to 3 upon 2 raised to 3. Again you can see the power is same. Power has to be same. So now what we do is it becomes 3 upon 2 raised to 3. So you can see 2 has gone down, 3 has come up. Now the numbers have come in the correct position. So this negative sign is gone and there is no negative sign here. There is just 3, right? And why did we write the negative sign? Because we have corrected the position of the numbers. 2 has come back to its correct position. 3 has come back to its correct position. So this was rule number 6. Now let's go to rule number 7. Rule number 7 is that is when a same number has 2 indices, then what to do? Let us say I have a number but it has got 2 indices, the same number having 2 indices. Then what to do, right? For example, let us say 2 raised to 2 raised to 3. Right? Now let us say how do I write this inside the bracket? 2 raised to 2 is nothing but 2 into 2. Right? 2 raised to 2 is 2 into 2 and 3. Now what we do is, what is the meaning of this number now? It means that this bracket I should multiply 3 times. So this is one time. This is the second time. And then this is the third time. So you can see you have understood what I did. 2 raised to 2, I have written it twice, right? 2 raised to 2 is nothing but 2 into 2. Now this entire bracket has an index 3. It means that this bracket should be multiplied 3 times. So now what we get is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So we get the answer 2 raised to 6. How do you get this? Very simply, without doing all this, is 2 into 3 will give me 6. Right? So from here what formula we get is A raised to M multiplied by N. Let's take another example. 3 raised to 3 raised to 4. Now according to the formula which we have just discussed now, it means 3 raised to 3 into 4, which is 3 raised to 12. Let us see whether on expanding we get the same thing. 3 raised to 3 can be written as like this. Inside the bracket raised to 4. That means this bracket now I have to multiply 4 times. So this is one time, second time, third time and the fourth time. So you can see I have multiplied this bracket 4 times. So how many times have I got 3? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Which I got very easily by using the formula, right? So rather than using all this and spending too much of time in expanding the formulas, just by using the formulas directly also we can get the answers. So this is rule number 7. Let's go to the last rule, which says, which are two different bases but have a common power. Now what does this mean? This means that this power is for both the numbers. So it is a raised to m into b raised to m. And it can be written the other way also. If we have two numbers which are having the same powers, we can remove it outside common by writing a into b. Just let me explain this with some examples. So let us say I have 2 raised to 3 into 3 raised to 3. Right? Now, as per the formula, what I can write this as 2 into 3 raised to 3. Because the power is both 3 and 3, I can remove it common. So it becomes 2 into 3 is nothing but 6 raised to 3. Right? So just let's check whether what we got is correct or no. 2 raised to 3 is nothing but 2 into 2 into 2. And 3 raised to 3 is nothing but 3 into 3 into 3. So see, 2 into 3, 1, 6. 2 into 3, second 6. 2 into 3, the third 6. So what I get is 6 raised to 3. So when the two bases are different, but they have the common index, we can multiply by the base and the number of power remains the same. So what is the formula here we got is 2a raised to m into b raised to n is equal to a into b multiplied by m. Let us see the other way round also, which says that a into b raised to m is equal to a raised to m into b raised to m. So let us say 2 into 3 upon 3 will be equal to 2 raised to 3 into 3 raised to 3. Do we get this? 2 into 3. We have just split the bases and the power is common to both. So either way, both the formulas can be used. So these are the 8 formulas of indices which will help you in solving the sums. So that's very quickly, I am revising all the 8 formulas. The first one was for multiplication, where the base was common, we could do the addition. Second was about the division. Here we were subtracting the indices. Third, from here only we got if power becomes 0, then it should be equal to 1. Next we got if it becomes negative, it just shows that it is in the wrong position and its position should be changed. Next what we saw was if we have a numbers in the bracket with a common power, all the numbers will have the same power. Second, next what we saw was about a negative power. The negative power shows that the position is wrong. Position of both A and B is wrong. So how do we change it? B comes up, A goes down, and since the position has come correct, the negative sign goes. This was the sixth. The seventh one was when there are different bases but with a common again power, then we can open the bracket and we can have the same power for the two different numbers. And the last one was when one single number has two different powers, then we can find the answer using this formula. So these are the 8 rules of indices which you can be using from 6th to 10th for solving various sums. Thank you.